Let me introduce right now, our guest right now is John Hawkins, who writes columns for townhall.com, also runs Right Wing News, and I came across one of his articles the other day, and I'm like, this guy thinks just like I do. I got to get him on the radio. John, how are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. Great to be on with you.
Well, great to have you on the program this afternoon. Let me get your thoughts on this controversy that dropped from WikiLeaks today regarding some of the comments from the left on Catholics and Southerners and needy Latinos and deplorables, and you name it, and it's in there.
Yeah, well, you're getting a good picture of the worldview of Hillary Clinton, and it's one that, quite frankly, meshes with what they've said publicly. This is a woman who said Republicans are her enemies. Half of Trump supporters are a basket of deplorables. You've got that comment from Podesta that came out of these leaks saying she hates everyday Americans. You've got Bill Clinton saying, I understand all these Trump people are rednecks. I grew up in that. This is how they look at you. And, my friend Kurt Schlichter has said that America, if Hillary wins, is going to be, if you're on the right, you're going to be under siege. I mean, it's not quite having a foreign power in there running it, but you're having someone who is actively hostile to everything you believe in and everything you want to do. And that tells you that's the type of person she is.
They got Newt Gingrich on Fox earlier today, and they were asking him about all these stories that are popping up with women who've now decided that 20 or 25 years ago, stories they've never told before, Donald Trump somehow, I don't know if he accosted them or they felt that he was too forward or whatever the case may be. They never mentioned it until now. Newt says what I'd rather talk about is the audio from a speech Hillary Clinton gave in Brazil, talking about the fact that what she really wants in our hemisphere is open borders. Because that affects a hell of a lot more people than the few women who've decided that 25 years later they got their feelings hurt.
It does. Unfortunately, I am guessing that all this stuff, because we know now that NBC held on to that tape. They've had it for quite a while.
Right.
I'm guessing these allegations are probably, I'm not saying I don't know if they're true or false. Some of the things Trump said makes you think, yeah, I could see him doing that. But why are they coming out now? They're coming out now because of these damaging WikiLeaks revelations, because what's happening is most people are talking about Trump, but they're not talking about WikiLeaks, because this is the type of thing that could crush and kill a campaign, but all the news is going the other direction. It's going in their favor. So, yeah, these are very damaging leaks that really just show, hey, she is not fit to be president.
Well, what Newt referred to, the fact that Hillary Clinton, we know her answer to immigration is blanket amnesty and continuing to allow whoever wants to come here to come here. We know that, but the bigger issue is this global view by the Democrats in this country, and even our own president saying that we need to accept more international norms and cede some of our sovereignty to the international community. You wrote about this in an article called "I Am Never Going to Be Part of Your Sick Liberal Worldview." I loved that. Maybe you can hit some of the highlights for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think liberals per se are sick. There's some nice liberals out there. I have a couple of friends who are liberals. Liberalism is a sick and disgusting viewpoint. It is a viewpoint that says America is not unique. It's a viewpoint that says because America is not perfect, it has to be cut down to size. We've got to come in here and undermine it. There is nothing about liberalism that cares about making sure your kids are going to have the same kind of future you had 30 years from now or 50 years from now. I got to tell you, I feel so sorry for 20-year-olds growing up in this country now. It's so tough. I mean, imagine if you're a guy. I mean, think about how much tougher it's gotten just to work, to just normal relations with a woman have gotten in this age. Think about how much tougher they're going to have it financially. Man, Social Security, Medicare, are those things going to be there in 30 or 40 years? And all that comes from liberalism. They have this idea that elitism is not about actually being really good at something, because those guys are bad guys. To them, you're elite. That means you must have stolen something or done something bad. No, to them, elitism is going to the right school and saying the right things. Doesn't matter if you're right or not. See, you prove that you're an open-minded thinker by saying the exact same thing as the other liberals do. And this is just a mentality, I think, that is very, very bad for our country. It's poisonous.
We're talking to John Hawkins, and you can read some of his writings on townhall.com. When I got to the bottom of your article, the people who listen to this show will laugh because I've said this on a number of occasions. I've said that if Texas would ever secede, I would move there tomorrow. And I think I'm going to get to meet you down there, right?
You're not kidding, buddy. I can tell you I would have never, if you could sell me 20 years ago, that people in America, there'd be parts of them that want to leave. I said, those are only the crazy people.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Now you look at it and you go, you know what? The only thing holding the country together, let's be honest at this point, is Social Security and Medicare. Because people don't want to lose their payments. Well, at some point, the way we're going, realistically, could be within 20 years, those are going to stop. Or they're going to draw down to such an extent that they're not going to be anywhere close because we're not going to have the money to pay them out and we're not going to be able to borrow the money to do it. When you get to that point, you could see states secede. Texas talks about it, but I think if you're a country, if you're a state, and you're sitting there saying, well, you know what, we don't have a huge debt. We don't have anything in common with D.C. We're tired of them telling us what to do. We're sick and tired of liberals coming in and forcing their horrible way of life that we don't agree with in any way, shape, or form. I'm here in North Carolina. Nobody here wants gay marriage. We don't want kids 8-year-old girls in the bathroom with grown men. And we're being told, no, you've got to do it. You're a bigot. You're a hater. No, we're just generally good Christian folk who don't want that to happen. Doesn't make us bad guys. Why can't we just live our own way? That's what the Constitution is supposed to allow. And eventually, I think you're going to see the country split over that kind of thing. And it's sad to say, but I mean, if you ask me, what do I have in common with Michael Moore or Hillary Clinton? Not much.
Well, in Michael Moore's case, you probably like to eat, don't you?
I do like to eat, and I'll give him this. I like Canadian bacon.
Exactly. I was thinking about this the other day, and I said, if Hillary Clinton wins this election, if you're one of those people who chooses not to go to the polls in November because you're somehow butthurt over something Donald Trump said 10 or 11 years ago, and you don't vote at all, or you vote for one of these third-party candidates, then Hillary Clinton is going to become the president. And 20 years from now, I want you to start practicing the apology you're going to have to give to your children and your grandchildren, because we may well be Greece 20 years from now, and you can trace it all back to this election.
Well, see, I would say you could go back even further. I think Barack Obama has already taken us on the downside of the mountain, and this has taken us probably a little bit further down. And it's sad to say that we've gotten to that point. Now, a lot of it is because of things, and I guess we would put it this way, a lot of it's because of things conservatives have done. Not that we've done them actively, it's that we haven't sat down and said, oh, you guys are going to disrespect the flag in the NFL, well, we're going to boycott you. Oh, you're going to take our kids and give them liberalism at school? Well, you know what? We're going to have our state legislators cut off your funds. Oh, you're going to make a Hollywood movie that makes fun of people like us and says the military stinks and says that the ordinary guy who's out there just working hard and trying to make a living, that guy is a creep? All right, well, we're not going to watch your movie. And because we don't do that, these guys have run wild through the culture. And like the late, great Andrew Breitbart said, politics is downstream from culture. And that's what we're seeing in our country right now. The culture is going down the tubes, and what's happening is the politics is going with it. And it's sad to see. It really is, as someone who loves his country. Amen,
brother. Well said. John Hawkins, what's the best way for people to read your thoughts and hear more from you?
RightWingNews.com. I also do columns at Town Hall.
Outstanding. Hey, it's a pleasure. I'd love to have you on again sometime.
Hey, I would love to do your show again. Thank you so much for having me on.
Right.
I appreciate it.
We will keep in touch, John. Thank you. Have a great weekend. All right, John Hawkins there. When I read his column, I thought to myself, I could have written this. I got to have this guy on my show. He's great. And then you see right then what I was talking about. It absolutely the truth.